United lose game number 12 of the season. I'm here with Jay. We're talking Manchester United losing 1-0 to Spurs in the Premier League this afternoon. Jay, we have got an awful lot to talk through, but there isn't anything realistically positive about this, is there, mate, at the moment? When we're looking at Manchester United, we're looking at, like I said earlier on, and you just told me off air there, like we've just lost El Shitico. And we are praising players that are getting a 6 out of 10 just to try and hold on to anything that we possibly can, Jay. I mean, first of all, your overriding feeling, we had a lot of youngsters on the bench going into this game, Jay. Where are you at with everything there from that? It felt numb to me. I didn't know how to even react at the end of the game, mate.
Adam, it seems to me we're bankrupt on and off the pitch. You covered very well this week the financial, I suppose, irregularities and malaise the club is in. So we're bankrupt off and on the pitch. Fans are going in on Amorim today that he didn't play the kids, didn't play the youth, and Obi got 3 minutes.
Yeah.
You're a young player, 17, 16, 17, 18. Do you want to be sent into a game where your teammates aren't even trying? Our players huff and puff with 5 minutes to go, just because. It's a stat, Adam. 31 minutes, upcoming stat, possession-wise, Spurs 76, United 24. And we're 1-0 down. We can go through stats, we can go through wherever you want. We are, Adam, mediocre FC. And I just wish this season was over, mate, because we are going to sit through this dross again, and again. I don't know where you want to analyse this right now, but look, we've never lost to Spurs three games in a season ever. Last time Spurs beat us home and away was 1990. Difference was back then, Adam, we had players that I actually believed in. We were both young lads. Even if we were young back then. We won the FA Cup that year under Ferguson. That was the last time we got beaten by Spurs home and away. Spurs hadn't won at home in 105 games. Our players had 9 days off from the last game, light training, and still looked lethargic. We can go in all we want about Casemiro. Casemiro hasn't played a full game since Newcastle back in December, which he got subbed again. At 65 minutes. Did we ever think we were going to have a midfield combination of Bruno and Casemiro? Bruno's not a CDM. Maybe beside an Orgade could give Bruno a bit of discipline, but that's not Bruno's game. So you can slag Bruno off all you want. He's not a CDM. He'll never be a CDM. Casemiro, look, great player, but let's be fair, the man's legs have gone. And last week we were already chatting, did Amorim and Casemiro have a disagreement because he wasn't playing him? And he plays what? He played today, 87 minutes today, 88 minutes, give or take?
Yeah.
So fans are starting on Twitter tonight going in and Amorim for not making changes, and you heard Gary Neville going on his bullshit about change the system. Gary Neville should not have been commenting on football because Gary Neville has a conflict of interest. He's involved in the so-called revamp, regeneration of that into Manchester in the next 5 to 10 years. So his comments on football or football managers, I take a pinch of salt. He was very quiet on Solskjaer, and all of a sudden he's going in Amorim because it's somewhat fashionable. So it depends on how you want to view this, Adam. It's Spurs. We made Spurs look good today, albeit from the last 5 minutes. Say what you want about Amorim, but he's got no options of a goalkeeper to bring on. We've said about Onana umpteen times. The man plays like he's got how would he put it? We've used phrases before like shredded wheat hands, pasta hands. The man cannot save a simple ball, but he puts it into the oncoming forward. And Dallo, you ignore Song on your left wing and let that man have a shot behind your back. Dallo, man, say what you want, but I'm finding it very hard to even be coherent tonight in my thought because I'm so bloody pissed off. And I'm doing my best not to use any foul language because I don't want your strain to lose monetization. That's how annoyed I am tonight, Adam. Seriously, mate.
Honestly, mate, we can go down on whatever you want tonight. I've got actually some quotes from Ruben Amorim after the game here. I'm just going to get through a few of these. Amorim on the subs situation and why I didn't use the subs. I felt the team was good during the game, plus I don't feel a need to change. Then Shido is that player. One long ball. he could make the difference. Chido is a boy. Chido is in the box, is very clever. It kind of looks like he's lost in answering that question a bit there, to be honest. Ahmad planted his foot in the grass on a tackle. That's why he's out. He's talking about that. On Christian Eriksen, Chris has the heart situation, and we have to be really careful with that. It's nothing about the heart. I'm just saying that the heart rate has to be controlled because he has a fever. That just on players that were playing there today and what Manchester United were up against and what Ruben Amorim was up against. He's backed up to a wall right now, Jay. I don't know, looking ahead, what he does or how he changes anything. That's just me being completely honest. He's talked in his press conference after the game as well about Xerxes, talking about Joshua not being a number 9. He has to play as a number 10. I think he's going to need a number 10 because we've lost Kobbie Mainoo for 6 weeks and Ahmad for the rest of the season, Jay. And Garnacho, I've said it in the show then, I think he's weak as piss. Honestly, we just need a bit more of combativeness up there. I think Joshua Xerxes has to play every single game now, and we have to play him into some kind of form if we are going to move forward, because he's the only one that's effective right now. And like we said off camera, Jay, and that's just Joshua Xerxes, in our opinion, putting in a 6 out of 10 performance. He was okay, and the rest were below par. That's what we're clinging on to at the moment. And that's what I said in my reaction after the game. It just feels like we're digging out little bits of positives to try and convince ourselves that it's going to be okay. We're really honest with ourselves. Right now, I feel like it's dead. And there isn't any hope for this team. Honestly, it does feel that way because I'm looking at Everton next week and I don't think we stand a chance. But just on his quote on Xerxes there, Jay, I mean, what can he change? Where can he go? Is it a case of just hoping that these players find form now?
Okay, I'll do Xerxes first. 71st minute, I thought Xerxes, a doable chance, should have scored. I definitely should have scored. Yeah, I think he should have scored. An actual striker scores, but he's not a striker. So Xerxes getting plaudits because he holds the ball up. Fantastic. He brings other players into the game. Fantastic. The problem is
basics.
You have Garnacho that has a very low football IQ, first and foremost, that ignores Dogu on overlap time and time again. Ama's gone for the rest of the season. So literally now, Amorim is playing the Rangers season divided front three. A lot's been made today about Xerxes playing behind a striker and had an okay game. He was doing the basics, the very, very basics, and that's a 6 out of 10. And as you pointed out, we're trying to find some grain of positive from yet another abysmal team performance. Where does Amorim go from here? Well, I think that picture that's gone viral of Amorim looking down at his feet, I think Amorim tonight is questioning where he goes from here. So, Adam, honestly, mate, I don't know. Playing the youth players, would you like to be a youth player, 17-year-old, being thrown into that team, divided leadership, next week against Everton and get smashed? Is that going to do your conference any good?
Well, this is the interesting bit now, mate. Right, today I thought was the opportunity. I'd have put all 5 of them on at one point today. I just gone, right, you know what, let's just change it. Let's just go for it. Let's just give these boys a little bit of an outing. If we're going to treat the Premier League like we are doing, which is basically training on the go, then we're going to have to start off just try and see if we can find something. I mean, Ruben Amorim said before the game, let's see if something happens and an opportunity comes around from these young lads coming in. But Chido Obi didn't get a touch of the ball. It was a thankless task for him, and no one got on the pitch. I don't see how the team that we've got can do anything different than what we've seen already in 12 defeats already this season, Jay. It's been a disaster. The Premier League has been an absolute catastrophe for Manchester United this season. It is going to be an all-time low, and I just don't see how we get out of it. When you only have to look at the league table and see, just for instance, right now, Jay, looking at the league table as it is, 25 games played. Manchester United have won 8 games, drawn 5 and lost 12. We've lost 12 games. Ipswich in the relegation zone have lost 14. That tells you how close we are to danger. Now, luckily Manchester United have scraped some wins, and wins are all important over losses. It's not about how many games you lose or how unbeaten you go. It's about how many wins you get. But 8 out of 25 is an absolute disaster Absolute disaster. When it comes to scoring goals, Jay, which we're talking about right now, there is, let's just see, counting them up, 1, 2, 3, 4 teams who have scored less goals than Manchester United. One of them is Everton, who are on a surge at the moment and catching us up. And the other 3 are all in the relegation zone. Everybody else in this league has scored more goals than Manchester United. -7 goal difference. 6 points out of the last 15 in the league, Jay. You could say we're just doing enough to stay out of the relegation zone, and that's about as much as we can take from this season right now, I feel, looking at that. But again, Tottenham again there today, Jay, was all about, for me, just, I don't know, going through the motions. That's how it felt, mate.
Adam, so far on the Ruben, played in the Premier League, played 14, won 4, drew 1, lost 9. We've got 13 points from 42. But that's it with you. Luckily for us, Adam, the quality of the season of the bottom 3 has been so abysmal. In a normal season, quote unquote normal season, your teams in the bottom 3 by now are on high 20s, early 30s. At least 10 points higher than what they're on in normal seasons. Otherwise, we are in a dogfight. And you alluded to it on your little post match. Everything to come plus Crystal Palace. I don't see us getting even a point out of the next 2 games. I don't know. I am worried. But where we're going to be come late April, early May, I think we're going to be a dogfight.
Yeah, because looking, that's the question there, Jay. You just talked about Amorim's form. Like, is there going to be a question? Is there going to be a point? He's mentioned he's worried about his job. He has to be worried about his job. If he doesn't win games, then his job is at risk. But I don't see us beating Everton. And then I'm actually worried about Ipswich. If we lose the next 2 games, normal situation, Jay, in normal circumstances, and these are a bit extreme, I'll give you that, with Amorim, and I don't want him to go. I'll never want him to go. I want to give him 2 years, like every other manager has got, to see where we're progressing to. But it's not the normal ownership model that we're dealing with right now. It's Ineos and the Glazers, and they are losing money left, right and centre out of this football club right now. We are in an absolute crisis, no matter which way anybody wants to try and spin it. Otherwise, it's a crisis on and off the pitch. I think right now, it is that bad, Jay, that you cannot get rid of him because there is nobody else that's going to change this right now. That's how bad it is. Sounds crazy me saying that, but even if it was a normal circumstances, it wasn't an Ineos man that was brought in, you wouldn't be getting rid of a manager right now in this form because there's so much going on. I don't think anybody could turn Man United around right now.
Look, as you know, I'm very pro Amorim. There's severe mitigating factors in his favour as to why he should still be the manager come August next season. So neither of us are saying sack Amorim. We're not saying that. But that being said, Adam, we got to play analyze here and be devil's advocate. Name me one player, Adam, in that side that Amorim has improved.
Amorim has improved. I would probably say, in terms of if I'm like clutching at straws right now, I'm saying Ahmad, but Ahmad had the natural ability anyway, and Ten Hag just basically threw him under the bus. I think maybe he's got. I think Xerxes got better under Amorim. That's it. That's it. And we just said that then. That's not a lot, Jay. That's not a lot.
Right. Okay. So if so Ahmed, we can agree, didn't get a fair run, the rub of the green on the previous managers. We can all attest to that. Xerxes, yeah, he's an average player. He's going to do average things, and I accept that. So it goes back to the point that we've said, Adam, numerous times. We have low IQ players in that team that cannot adapt to his system after November, December, January, February. They still haven't adapted. Logic would dictate by now the players have bought the system and adapted. They've gotten worse, my friend. How is that even possible?
I don't know. I really don't know. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I mean, when you look, I mean, let's get into a few of the players actually in the game today, Jay. Actually, I mean, Patrick Dorgu, I thought was okay. Jay. I'm looking at his stats right now on the screen. We've got them up. His stats rate him at a 7.3 out of 10. He won 8 of his 9 duels, 89%. Passing accuracy was 79%. 2 key passes as well. He got some good crosses in there. He had 1 shot. I thought overall, Patrick Dorgu actually looked half decent, Jay. I'm not getting carried away by any stretch, but he looked positive. You just said it yourself, and you alluded to it there, and I picked up on the same thing. Good God, what is wrong with an overlap right now? Why is it being taken out of Manchester United's whole setup? Because Garnacho just decides to cut in every time. He did it in the first half. He did it in the second half. Dorgu is there. I'm not going to just pull Garnacho on this, mate, because I want to get your opinion on Bruno Fernandes as well. And I love Bruno Fernandes, everybody knows it, but overly critical today myself of Bruno Fernandes, our captain today. I haven't got any excuses for him. He's not the worst player in this side. He is the one player that will try and create something, who plays brave, who will do that something out of the extraordinary. He would have fit great into a Sir Alex Ferguson side. But right now, I'm asking our captain to read the room and try and bring other players into play and not make it about him. Am I off the mark at any point in what I just said there with Bruno, mate? And go into the Garnacho and Dorgu as well if you want on that as well, Jay.
Okay, I do Bruno first. I think Bruno's biggest problem is he's the sole member of the me, myself, and I society. He's playing beside Casemiro today, who he knows has not started since December against Newcastle, as alluded to. So don't leave a chasm bigger than a Grand Canyon between yourself and Casemiro. You have the legs to run for Casemiro and cover for Casemiro. He left Casemiro isolated today.
Yeah.
But we could agree to that. So again, I firmly believe Bruno is a low IQ player. He would play the great assist maybe every fourth game, 25% out of every fourth game, and he get the plaudits. When it comes down to doing the nitty gritty, as you pointed out, Adam, reading the room, I found he's found wanting time and time and time again. You start off there with Garnacho, start here on Garnacho. So from players in Premiership that have had more than 10 big chances in the Premier League this year. Garnacho is 2 out of 14.
It's pathetic.
14.3%. Okay?
That's nowhere near good enough.
That's
said that before, yeah.
Yeah. And look, we've given Garnacho credit time and time and time again when it's due. Today, I think today he had 2 big chances. We call it 2. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt. But the second one, bit of composure, back to net.
The one in the first half, I was livid about that. Like, that's why you're not a £70 million player. You have to put them chances away. That's the difference in bringing your team back to life and going down into a 12th defeat. That's what that moment is there. And that's the pressure that you have to accept on your shoulders if you want to be a Manchester United player. It has to hit the target at least. And it doesn't get anywhere near the target, Jay.
It doesn't, but it goes back to the problem on the previous manager. Garnacho got fast-tracked into the team. And he should have been understudy. But who was going to be understudy too? It should have been himself and Rashford battling on the left. But it never was, as we can both agree to. So now Garnacho, because Amorim does not have an option at wide left, he's like the de facto left winger, or this new term, the left 10 or whatever term you want to put on it. But he's today ignoring the left back who's on the overlap time and time again. That shows either he doesn't scan, lacks football IQ, or he's a greedy bastard.
Putting it bluntly, mate. Putting it bluntly. Do you know what is an interesting stat, Jay, today? Going off stats alone, and how the stats are actually worked out in terms of percentages. There's only 2 players that go under a 7 out of 10 today.
Jesus Christ, Adam.
Honestly, Jay,
God.
I'm going to put one up on the screen right now, and we'll move on to him next. Our man, Mr. Andre Onana, according to the stats, he got a 7.9 out of 10 today. And clearly, stat-based marks out of 10 count for jack shit when it comes to importance of incidents within a game. Andre Onana is the biggest travesty that has ever happened in a transfer window, alongside Antony for me. I just think this guy is going to completely destroy anything any manager wants. How many times, Jay, have we said Ruben Amorim has talked about them momentum shifts, them moments in games where it turns the game, which is tight, on its head, turns it completely the opposite way round. I mean, I just have to look at certain moments this season in the Premier League, and we're talking about 12 defeats here this season, aren't we? Well, I think we can safely say today he balls that one up, and I don't care what anybody else says. You've got to push it round the corner. That's what keepers do. Yes, the defence didn't react, and there's one player against 5 defenders. Yeah, you probably would have hoped that one of your defenders would have reacted quicker. Strikers always react quicker than defenders. It's natural, especially when you're facing the opposite way. We know this. So a goalkeeper is trained to do this and tip it round the corner. So there's Tottenham. What else have we got in that melee? Oh, yeah, there was a close game against Nottingham Forest. He basically lost us that one as well. Do I have to bring in the Brighton episode when that game was tight and he pretty much gifted the game to Brighton off the last 2 goals? He is an absolute nervous wreck, and the players, be it in front of him, are playing exactly that way. Jay, again, I think, and a lot of people have said this to me, in terms of Manchester United's recruitment and what we need to do in the summer, a goalkeeper is not slowly, fast moving up the importance table in terms of what United need to be buying this summer. And I am completely on board with it, because he will completely derail any plan, that man, on his own single-handedly.
Adam, Onana is the goalkeeping equivalent. A combination. Nobody is. He's a combination in goals of Jemba and Bebe. Yeah. That's what he is.
I think it's an insult to Jemba, that.
Yeah, and that is how lowly I rate that man right now. Now, you and I, Adam, and we both got sucked into it. He had 2 or 3 decent performances, and we both got sucked in.
Yeah, we did.
I even thought, Jesus, he actually has learned to get down faster and put a ball around the post. Because last season we flagged it, beating near post time and time again. So that has been almost sorted out. But now,
I've just got one for you quickly, Jay. Guess in the chat has just done a brilliant one for you. She's called it Djembe Bay.
Go. That's great. Okay, somebody tweet that out and tag Adam and I in it, please. That's fantastic. I love it.
Guess you've stolen the show with that one. That is a belter. Yeah. Djembe Bay.
Credit you. Tweet that out. That's a fantastic one. I like that. We'll use that from now on, because I'm getting tired of calling him the African Taibi. He's probably disrespectful to Taibi at this stage. I'm loving that. So back to our friend Onana. Yeah, we can agree he's a liability in goals. And you played as centre back. I played as a right back. And we said time and time again, if you haven't got confidence in your own goalkeeper, you've got no confidence whatsoever in your team. Today, again, past the hands. And like, that wasn't even, Adam, today what you would call a harsh shot to save.
No.
It's easy, knock around the post. Yeah. And you said, look, defenders will always respond slower than a forward. We had 3 statues there today, Adam. 3. Not one of them picked it up. Not one. Surely one of the 3 would fall into danger. Surely, you would have thought. Maguire, I'm not going to go in and Harry. We know he's slow. I've done it enough times. I don't expect him to go in. But De Ligt, I expected it to be a bit more reactive.
Mm-hmm. I mean, when you look at De Ligt there, mate, and his stats today, he has 7 out of 7 duels won. His passing accuracy was 90%. He had 1 key pass. He was actually on, in terms of the basics today, he was all right. But then again, Jay, like, we've not really been complaining about the defenders that much. They're the ones that have really held their own in general play. I think the biggest problem I've got is, and defenders and goalkeepers, and I'm not defending Onana here, I still think he's crap, and I don't think that United will move forward with him in goal. But when they make a mistake, it costs. But
Agreed.
What I keep on saying is, in all of this, certain players are getting away with murder. So when a midfielder misplaces a pass, or a forward misses a chance, if United are not creating chances, if United are not scoring goals, every time a defender makes a mistake, it starts to mount up. And they're going to keep making certain errors. The chances are going to keep on coming. They can't clear every single ball. What happens with defenders is they grow in confidence as the team performs in front of them. So if the strikers are scoring goals, the pressure on the defence is less. They play with a bit more freedom and confidence. But why it's so heightened because the forward line is so crap and cannot hit a barn door, honestly, then that, I feel, is really affecting the defence right now. Every single error is being ultimately scrutinised and criticised from the defence and the goalkeeper. And again, like I said, I'm not defending certain players. They still have to do their jobs. But my God, let's focus on what I just said. There's 4 teams in this league. 3 of them are in the relegation zone that have scored less goals than United this season. The strike force is the massive issue in this football club. They are an absolute calamity. They are a joke, and they should be embarrassed at them numbers for Manchester United. But then again, Jay, is it their fault? They were brought in, like we said, by the recruitment of Manchester United. And most of them were brought in by Erik ten Hag.
Adam, if my notes are correct, a moment of correction here, we failed to score in 10 games this season.
Oh, God, that's a bad one.
If my notes are correct.
Double figures.
Yeah.
I can't ever remember that.
Yeah. Now, we flagged the front 3. And before Ahmed finally got his game time, the front 3 has been flagged all season long. Would you not agree?
Yeah.
We can all agree on that.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're now playing without a front 3. There's no killers in our front 3. No, we don't have one striker in our front 3 with ice in his veins. Not one. And to compound that now, Adam, we now have no midfield.
Yeah. That is
okay, that compounds it. Okay, so and I think you alluded to it there. Did it this season? I think he's been a standout player at the back. Mazraoui has been decent. A couple of games recently he hasn't been fantastic, but Mazraoui for his point has been decent. Euro will be good. And Maguire, to his credit, has been solid. I'll give him credit. And then your friend Dalot, who we could do a whole show on, he's been atrocious. We start week in, week out. And then behind them, we have what that lady say? What was her quote again?
Oh, Djembe.
Djembe. So now we're going to hashtag Djembe. That's the goalkeeper. Is it any wonder, Adam, we're sitting at 15th place in the goddamn league? Is it any wonder? When you make all those points, we are exactly, Adam, where we should be.
Yeah.
That's us. We're mediocre FC right now.
That is where we are. That is where we are. Just on Dalot, the stats gave him a 7 out of 10 today as well, which is staggering.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
How that man looked like he made a passing accuracy of 88% today. 3 duels, 1 out of 6. I don't know what Dalot is anymore. I don't know what he is. He's a professional footballer and his attitude is fantastic. That's all I've got. I'm looking at the comment section right now, and I'm going to get into the comment section before we finish up. But when you look at everyone's comments, the general consensus is nobody knows how we fix this. There is no answer right now to Manchester United. There is nothing that anybody can do. You can't get rid of the manager. There's no more players that can go. We've got rid of Antony, Sancho, Rashford. We're worse. How much more can be done? How much more can be done before Manchester United start to actually improve? What is the key? Honestly, answers on a postcard, because I've not got a clue right now. I've not got a clue where this team goes. Let's get a few comments quickly on this one. I'm sick of hearing about this epoxy system. Amorim can shove his system somewhere dark, says JT. Anyone defending Garnacho this match is the perfect proof of why he's utterly useless. Chance after chance wasted, and absolute embarrassments. Ineos and the Glazers out. What's the most staggering is how much United have spent to become this bad. That is a great comment right there. Jonathan says, look at our defenders, ball-playing defenders. They can't find a forward pass and have to go back to Onana all the time. John Wood says, we have 5 defenders in the box, all ball-watching for the Spurs goal. The back 2 defenders could see the other 3 defenders had the ball covered. Not one of them turned to see who was behind them. Not one positive I can't find, Jay, in the comments at the moment. I really can't. And I don't blame anyone for that either. 15th in the league table, Jay. That's what you were saying. It's mediocre FC. Please give the video a like, everybody, by the way. Make sure that you have subscribed to Forever United TV to be up to date with everything going on with Manchester United. Jay, Everton at weekend. Early kickoff. We don't do well at early kickoffs. Do I need anything else to just completely come down on us right now? Our record at Everton, not pleasing either. Like last season, we had the wonder goal from Garnacho, which completely killed the game dead for us and won us the game. Any hope, David Moyes? Back at Goodison Park, his old club. Is it not just set up for a perfect United disaster class again, this one?
Yeah, it certainly is, unless Lightning strikes twice and Garnacho scores another wonder goal, which, as we know, Lightning don't strike twice. Adam, like, if I'm in the live chat, can predict the next two games, how many points are we going to get? That would be an interesting topic for about 30, 40 seconds, because I can't see us getting a point. I really can't. I'm down. And it's not. I don't want to be negative and impending doom, but it's just predicated on what I see in the pitch the last 5 games.
I'm just going to put it in as a poll now.
Yeah.
I mean, looking at them 2 games right now, you have to be picking up a win against Ipswich, surely, don't you?
But Adam, we know historically the worst team to play is a team that's in a relegation dogfight. They're the worst team to possibly play. Because we come to town and what happens? It's a cup final. You saw it today, after that game today. The Spurs players celebrating like they won the Champions League. That's the Spurs mentality. Yeah. That's their mentality. That's Spurs. Ipswich, those players will turn up like the Champions League final against us. And they're going to give everything to get 3 points.
Silly Man with the super chat says, I'll be honest, Adam, our fans are the most fickle around. We can't handle a dark patch and we're ready to throw our manager under the bus straight away. Dark patch, it is a very dark patch, Silly Man. Thanks for the super chat. No, you're right. A lot of fans are the ones that are throwing Amorim under the bus and are saying that he isn't good enough. I mean, that's on them. They're fine. I think, ultimately, just to defend fans on that, I'm not one of them. Everyone knows I'm backing Ruben Amorim. I want to give this manager the time that he deserves because of what he's done and how ballsy he's been in owning up to what is going on at Manchester United and not trying to cover it up. But for the fans, I feel right now, honestly, I do feel sorry for a lot of the fans because there isn't anything to get a hold of. There's nothing to be confident about. There's nothing to look at and go, I can see the future of this football club right now. We had it on the bench today and he didn't play it, which is going to rile a lot of fans. I'm in the middle. Like I don't know which way I am with it, to be honest. I'm going to be completely clear. I thought United could have got a goal. And would the substitutes have made any difference? You never know, is the answer to that. You never know. But still, Amorim deserves time. Amorim deserves his chance to do what he needs to do in a transfer window and then come back and see what football United play. He's been really unlucky with injuries this week. Again, honestly, I don't think United, Jay, with the injuries that we had, would have played any better today. And that, again, I feel is a point that needs making. With the team that we had out, I thought United created more chances than we have in quite a few of the last few games. In fact, let me just have a quick look at what United actually did in this game. So we had 16 shots and we had 6 on target out of 43% possession. We just don't have anyone who can put the ball in the back of the net, Jay, really. That's all it is. But I don't think any of the players, I mean, maybe Ahmad, you could say, would make a difference. Would anyone else that was missing really have made a difference to that game today?
Okay, so Xerxes, Ogari in that midfield instead of Casemiro makes a difference. I've got no doubt. Because he would have made Bruno be, how would I put it, a bit more restrained in his passing, and the midfield would be a lot tighter. I do believe Ogari's in that team today. The midfield is tighter. Regarding forwards, yeah, Amma makes a difference, but we're still stuck with Garnacho being selfish out the left, still ignoring Dagu. Look, it's frustrating for fans like yourself, myself, maybe watching, to watch the same stuff week in, week out. It's Groundhog Day. And right now, Adam, I just can't see light at the end of the tunnel. The only possible green shoots is Europa League, because we almost turned up Europa League.
Weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like Europa League right now, like that draw, like obviously the games are completed this week. So all of Europe is finished. So the playoff games are all done and completed by the end of next week, and we'll know who we're playing, and then we can start planning and looking ahead. And March is going to be an absolutely crucial month for Manchester United. It really is. So I feel like that is an opening for United. Obviously, Fulham at home in the FA Cup, that could go either way, to be honest. It could go either way. I'm not hopeful that United will get the win. I'm not hopeful that we'll put on a performance at any point this season now. I just don't think the players have got what it takes. And I think Ruben Amorim, and there was a story that came out early in the week, Jay, about Ruben Amorim separating himself and not getting too close to his players. I like that in a way, because the summer is more important than the season right now as it looks. These players have shown their colours on the pitch. They're not capable. The football IQ, like you said, is not there, and they need to be sold. Some big, crucial decisions need to be made in the summer, and that's what I'm waiting for now. I'd never wanted a season to be fast forward as quick as this one. I really haven't. I'm so gutted that we're in this position, but you are right on the Europa League. For some crazy reason, United do seem to be able to grind out a result or put a performance in Europe.
Yeah, so right now, don't rule out us being in the Europa League final. I wouldn't rule it out, mate, at all. I would not be at all surprised.
No, it wouldn't. A good chat from Jonathan there, actually, in the comment section, which is exactly what I was talking about before. I think if we would have been, I think it would have been a different game had Garnacho put his chance away, but he is the only one player, and I can't put it all on him. We played okay in moments during that match. He isn't the only one player, mate, to be honest. I really don't think he is anywhere near good enough at the moment, just like everybody else. I really don't. And you're right, Jonathan, what you said. You've got to put your chances away. If you don't, you get that pressure and everybody trying to force the game like Bruno Fernandes does. Everybody plays calmer when you're in front. Everyone knows that. And we do create chances. We do have moments in games, but we don't capitalise on any single moment in a game which is going to have an impact on it. That would have been massive for United, because I think Spurs would have buckled at that point if Garnacho scores, but he didn't. And like we've said before, that's 14 big chances, 12 and 2 conversions. 14.3% conversion rate on big chances for Garnacho. That is for one of Manchester United's main forwards, who people think is worth 70 plus million. He's not. He's a £50 million player max, who is out of form right now. That's what Garnacho is. Can he go to that next level? I don't know. Under Amorim this season, definitely not, I don't think, because I don't think anyone will. But I think, again, Jay, it is all focused on the summer and what Manchester United can do. In terms of the summer, Jay, do you feel like United can still get business done if we are out of Europe?
Well, you did a very in-depth show during the week on the effect of the PSR rule changes.
Yeah.
And I think it's a nuclear effect on us next season. If we're out of Europe, it could be. And okay, I don't want to be out of Europe. I got to preface this by saying I don't want to be out of Europe. Ideal world, we win the Europa League. We're playing Champions League football next season, and we attract medium level players. But if we are out of Europe next season, that will be the quintessential reset this team has needed for the last 10 years. I would see that as an opportunity. It's a total reset. And that is maybe what Amorim needs. Get rid of the charlatans from the club. Come and reset. And sign his 18, 19-year-old players, 20-year-olds, full reset, and go from there.
Yeah. No, honestly, I think you might be onto something there. I think that is... I think I was just labelling that like the blessing in disguise, the silver lining out of everything. With being forced into having to sell players to make an impact on the transfer window, maybe that is the blessing in disguise. Maybe that is the silver lining in all of this crap that's going on. We will see in the summer, of course. But that is our show all wrapped up. My nose is about to explode. My sinuses and my head is throbbing. It has been one hell of a day. I don't know how I've got through it with the flu that I've got right now, but it is going to be one of them nights where I'll long lie down in bed, I think, Jay, just to contemplate where United go forward from here and rethink everything all over again. But honestly, I'm out of thinking where we go from it. I'm out of ideas. I am at the moment. We will see. Something may come to me in the night, and I might just get this new lease of life for figuring out how United can do it. But right now, it just seems difficult in every single way, Jay.
Well, I'm out of ideas for what United can do, but for your flu and your cold, hot whiskey.
Yeah,
get
straight
sleep.
to it.
Yeah.
Jay, cheers for coming on, mate. Loved it.
Thanks, mate. Enjoyed it.
Enjoy it. Thank you, everybody. Please give the video a like on the way out. Make sure you subscribe to Forever United TV. Go and watch my instant reaction straight after this show as well. That's what I did right after the game. That was just my raw reaction without even looking back on it. See if it was any different to what we just said in the live show there. But for now, that is us all done today on YouTube. United, 15th in the league, 12th defeat of the season. It's not looking pretty. We move on to Edison next Saturday. God help us. Please, David, go easy.